Chris, you have a drink?
You want a drink?
Alright, so I'm going to choppy feet for the moment, but
Yeah.
I think that's just a
Yeah. So we're actually rolling though?
Yeah, we should be rolling. I'm going to my Facebook right now and
make sure
that is set to public. Because for some reason it always just goes to private anytime I log in.
Let me know when that's up so I can share.
Yeah, absolutely. Why is it asking me that in my profile? There we go. Good shit. That's so weird. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Alright. Regardless, we almost live. Yeah.
Oh, you know what else I could do? I could use a sound recorder on my phone too. My iPhone has a good sound recorder.
Nice. Alright, so let me just edit this.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
So you
Public.
don't need to.
Do you guys already advertising?
I don't know what we do.
Yeah,
I don't think we
Alright,
do.
just public.
With what?
No, just in case like the brand shows on camera, do you guys blur out?
Oh, no,
that's
I give
fine,
fuck
man.
less about that.
Yeah, that's all good, bro.
If they bug us, then we know what they're watching.
Alright, so we're live. iPads for some reason today are choppy. I'm not exactly sure why, what's going on, why they're so choppy. Could be lighting, could be anything. Fucking sucks. But we're live at the moment.
And your shit's not set to private, is it?
I just set it to public.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
Alright, so we gotta do our celebratory clap in a moment. Yo, what's up with these
Well, I can
cameras?
share it to my story too. That's pretty cool.
Man. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with these iPads today. But fuck it. Regardless, I'm gonna go adjust those. Lonnie, you got the camera. Introduce the people. Set this show up. Turono Talks, we live, baby. Let's go. Let's get it popping.
All right, so we live. 1, 2, 3 in the place to be. Everybody say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yo, MC means move the crowd. Wow. I actually got a room full of fucking grown men to say hallelujah. I'm like fucking Al Sharpton. This
I'm gonna say
bitch.
hallelujah, dog.
Yo, what's up?
I didn't
What's
know that's
up?
what I call your mouth.
All right, well, you know,
Like, hallelujah.
we got a lot of special guests with us today, so everybody kind of introduce yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Well, I go by the name of Black Freeman,
Yeah.
and within Black Freeman, universally, I'm known by Be Free, B.Free. So that's the message within the name.
Word.
What's up, everyone? My name's Ngugu. I'm actually his younger bro.
Yep.
But yeah, I produce and manage artists.
Okay. Word.
My name's Chris. I produce, record, DJ, just pretty much anything and everything within music.
Don't lie, man. These guys are just trying to stay humble.
So are you guys like the producers then for you,
This
I'm the
is
producer.
producer. He does
and the
100%.
engineer?
Exactly.
Everything.
All right. And he's your brother.
He's my brother.
And you
He's also
haven't
my,
actually rapped on his beats yet. You're waiting for him to hit you with that fire.
Yes, yo.
Yes.
I've been waiting. Always waiting.
The stuff I have does not cater to him, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah. I have a couple close friends who I've never produced a record for because it's the same thing. They'd rather rap on YouTube beats, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, slow your own progression. That's fine. Anyways,
Okay.
whoever I'm talking about knows I'm talking about them. That's fine.
Shots.
I know that. True shots.
Oh, that video is horrible, eh?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with I mean,
That's
ever since we
nasty.
kind of like
That
switched up
video's
the internet
okay.
password in here, things have been a little
A little
A
wacky.
little wonky,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, like I don't know if
Yeah, I want. So we will move to this one.
All right.
There we go. Stop that. Sorry, we are a very unprofessional show, just so you know. That's kind of like part of our
That's not true.
charm.
You guys are professional.
That's part of our charm is that, you know.
No, it happens.
Alright.
Trust me. We have a lot of technical difficulties sometimes.
Yeah, you know, that's the way with the internet,
Yeah.
you know.
We could do this. We could kind of reverse
That kind of
the camera
works.
that way,
Yeah,
right?
whatever. Let's do it. I don't
So
need
reverse
people
the
to see
camera
my
that way.
fucking
If you guys
Irish mug.
try to think of a way to kind of, you know, figure out that.
Word. So anyways, before we do get it popping, one thing I wanted to say,
Yes.
you surprised me a little bit. With the promotional image we had for you today, I was
Yes.
definitely expecting a dude to come up in here who is going to intimidate me somewhat with the mask on and stuff. I was like, oh shit, I don't even know what this man looks like off rip. Like, usually people who wear masks are kind of scary.
No.
So, and you're a very nice guy, so, you know, I was a little,
Concerned.
no, a little just
The worst concern.
taken back, I guess. I was expecting to have to be on guard, and now I just feel like too comfortable for comfort.
Ah,
But
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
good. You see,
It is
I
good.
like that feeling.
Yeah.
I like it. Makes you think.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So what? Curious, like, what is the like? Were you going for an edgy look with that
no.
photo?
No, I wasn't going for an edgy look. I just wanted a provocative look.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess it did its job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100% definitely. I
Yeah.
think, and that's one thing I think is very important too, is image. Like before we started, we were talking about image of artists, and I won't call out the names, but you know, just certain artists who have certain images, and it doesn't really match their sound. But you know, image goes a far way, and it can make you want to look at something or not want to look at something, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting.
I'm not going to lie. Like personally, if you allow me to be truthful, like there is a lot of rappers or just artists nowadays
Yep.
that are very wacky.
Yeah.
Just out there, and it's okay, you know, if that's them, that is them.
Yeah.
But at some point, you know, there is a line you are crossing, and of course, some people are going to be uncomfortable, and you have to mind that. You know,
Yeah.
You do have to mind that. You know? And it's like you're going in uncharted waters all the time,
Yeah.
and that sometimes that's just not.
No, I feel you, and actually, what you said, that's a good point because I think especially with the rise of the internet and a lot of artists who have made it big off the internet, like for example, we're at T-Dot Fest this Saturday. No disrespect to any of the artists, but a lot of them are super, super popping right now,
Yes.
especially on YouTube and the online stream services and stuff. And they are young, mind you, but you can tell a lot of these guys have had no media training at all,
Yeah.
like for how popping they are, because they just don't know how to carry an interview. They can't shut off the image of the rapper, which is cool to a degree,
Yeah.
but they can't shut it off to the degree where they almost can't converse with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know, I think it's important, you know, to have an image, but it's also important to be able to, you know how to carry yourself in situations. You know, if you're gonna put off a threatening image, don't intimidate the media people, or don't intimidate, you know, if you're going up to a record label for, you know, meeting with fucking Leor Cohen.
Yeah.
Don't go in there like with your goons and
Yes.
a balaclava on and put your gun on the table like as if that's gonna help your situation. They're probably just gonna be like, you know what, we're rethinking this signing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I think a lot of times that's the issue, is that whether it's an image or whether it's real, a lot of times that can hold back dude's success no matter how poppin' they get, is because exactly like you said, but like carrying yourself.
Yes.
A way to carry yourself.
Like you can start to cut you off. Just
No,
to add to
no.
your point. Like you can embody that image. That's not fine, but there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
On stage, embody it. If you're in danger, your roughness needs to come out. Whatever, embody it. But now in a business meeting, you know, don't,
Yeah.
like you said, don't come gangster pants below your knees. Like, come on, I'm about to give you 10 mil. That's what you're doing.
Well, see, and I don't even care if you come like that. It's
Yeah.
just, you know, there comes a line, like every human being has the ability to let their guard down a little bit.
Yes.
And it's important to have your guard up, but a lot of times I feel like a lot of rappers, especially young ones, they have it up like full tilt.
Yes.
To where they can't even see over it.
Yes.
You know. It's like I was watching Snoop Dogg on The Breakfast Club today, and he was kind of talking similar. They're like, oh, we seen you at 50's pool party. You're going up talking to Y&W who and doing this and spraying squirt guns at Casanova and like, you know, just having a fun time. And they're like, you know, like how, like, you know, kind of like trying to like ask him, like, you know, being like whatever 50 years old plus, you know, coming from the background you do, like, how do you just let loose and have fun? He's like, well, basically, he's like, you got to know when to turn it off. He's like, that doesn't mean if you came up to me in a dark alley or something, I don't know how to be who I am. He's like, but I also know when it is appropriate to turn it off.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's actually an important lesson for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's true. I feel that more nowadays because of how the media is very open.
Yeah.
It's a free generation.
Yeah.
You know? Like when we were growing up, we had freaking borderlines. You know?
Oh,
we got spankings, we got everything. And these kids don't get spankings. And I'm just like, oh, kid, that's why you're like that. You know, your parents never put some type of border. And it's not their fault because, you know, the environments and whoever was teaching them. But they're exposed to a lot more as what we were exposed to back then.
Yeah.
We didn't have the internet like we have now. I had Netscape. You know, I had to go to the library.
Yeah.
Net Zero. These guys have everything.
Yeah, everything.
Remember dial-up internet?
Yes.
And even when you pick up the phone, it cuts off.
A house phone.
Yeah.
These kids don't know what it is to have a house phone.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yo, I have a house phone. I don't even know what the number is. I've never used
That's
it.
great.
I used to have a house phone
I'll
that
just give
had
it
the
to you for
rotary.
free.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I have one of those, man.
You know
Straight
what's
up,
the
you fuck up
craziest
on one number, you gotta
Exactly.
start from scratch.
Exactly.
The craziest thing about having a house phone nowadays is that I was hanging out with a friend the other day.
Yeah.
And they were telling me that the only person they called was a close family member because she was the only one with a landline.
Yeah.
Like she was stuck in a position where like she could only call a landline, right?
Yeah.
And that was the only person she could call because that's the only person that she knew with a landline, and she actually picked up. So.
Wow, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
It's just like, yeah, and it's crazy, like the exposure that these kids have, you know, at such a young age. And that helps mold and shape everything. Like a conversation me and Mike were having outside before we got up here, but it was like, well, actually, before we get to it, I have a question. Do you think spanking should be allowed or looked down upon?
No, it should be allowed.
I think so.
Of course.
I have no issues with it.
Because the problem with this...
Hold on. You gotta know, I will admit this, our parents, this guy can vouch, we all can vouch, our parents knew how to spank. Like, they'll spank you, so you know you'll never do it again.
Yeah, but they're
Nowadays,
not breaking a broom over your ass and giving you
Exactly.
splinters. And well, it depends.
And, you know,
I know some Caribbean moms can be pretty fucking rough.
yeah, but you know, those
Mike's just like, yeah.
kids can handle it, you know. And then you come back, you're like, okay, mom, I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
But then you look at on the news, and you're like, oh, you know, this parent beat this child to death, or you know, this parent beat this child, is in the hospital. It's like, yo, you're not. It's a lesson, not a freaking torture.
Yeah.
Well, see, and there's a difference too, right? There's a difference between an alcoholic dad or something that comes home and just takes his anger out on his son or his daughter and beats the shit out of them, opposed to a mother or a father spanking their kid because they got caught fucking, you know, stealing from the fucking school, whatever, or fucking lighting firecrackers on, and like, yo, you dumbass, like, you're getting spanked. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I agree. I think it should be allowed, and I think it should be up to parents how to discipline your kids. I just think, you know, there should be a barrier where it is assault as well, too.
Yes.
But it's like, at the end of the day, like, this is my problem with it, and you have all these anti-bullying campaigns and stuff, and I personally, I got tormented when I was young. Bullying fucked me up for years, you know what I mean? I was depressed, suicidal and stuff, but do you know what it made me throughout life? A person a lot stronger than a lot of people I know who weren't bullied. You know what I mean? Because I learned not everything goes your way. You know, I'm not getting a fucking medal for just competing. You know what I mean? I'm either first, second, or third place, or I get squat. You know what I mean? If I can get beat up just for having a different opinion from somebody. I can get beat up just for being more overweight. And like, it teaches you the world's cruel. I'm scared for these kids when they come out, you know, of this PC era into the real world.
Yes.
Like, are people going to commit suicide because they don't get the first job they applied for?
There's been an increase of suicide.
Just because of it.
For sure.
Yes.
What if it's a form of population control?
That could be something too.
Anything's possible.
That could be something too. Honestly, like you said, anything is possible, and the way at the rate this population is going with the suicides and the killing, like we were just talking about in recent days. Sorry, but the shootings that are going on.
Yeah.
And you see, okay, one person gets shot. All right, it's normal. Then the next day it's 2. Then you're like, okay, we're used to that. Then it becomes 5, and you're like, wow, something's going on.
Yeah.
And I think it is brainwashing kids because, you know, we all come from the streets and we all know about stripes. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was in those shoes, like if I still had that mentality, okay, this person got a body, oh my god, I need to get 2. The person got 2, oh my god, he got 2 bodies, I need to get 5.
Yeah.
Like, it just adds on.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the game, man.
so,
Well, and that part of it too is a separate aspect, but it's related. But it's the fact that in today's society, we value the wrong values in people. We value the dude who makes $100,000 a year off selling drugs. We look at these people like they're cool.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's our value system as well too. You know what I mean? Like we value people off the wrong things. You know what I mean? I'm a party animal. You know what I mean? Growing up, I looked at other party animals like my uncle and shit. I'm like, yo, he's cool. You know what I mean? As I'm older, I'm like, he's not so cool. Maybe I shouldn't be an obnoxious party animal. You know what I mean? But you gravitate to these negative kind of things, and you want to be it. Or even if you don't want to be it, if you fall in the position, you're more likely to act out in a certain way because you think that's cool.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't care about consequence. It'll make me the man for a minute.
Exactly. And just to add on to your point, like you said, but sometimes you can't blame them because those are the choices they have.
Yep.
You know, you can't always be like, oh yeah, this person it was steered this way because they had a bad heart. No, I bet you any money if you put a rich man in the same position, he'll probably be worse.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll do much worse.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So based on their choices too, it's of course those children will idolize that person because that's how they knew how to work hard.
Yeah.
They did get $100,000. You don't want to be broke all your life. Come on, you
Yeah.
got $100,000 too. I will go that route, you know. And at the same time, yes, some negatives can come out of positive because if you look at example all the drug cartels, how did they build Colombia with drug money?
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas, drug money. Cuba, all that stuff, drug money. You know. So
If you look-
good things can come out of.
If you really look at actually the push of civil rights in the Western world, most of it comes from illegal routes. Job unions come from mobs, and like, you know what I mean? Even like, just like, though I wouldn't say that, you know, though legally they put it in terms that everything's even, like, you know, being a black man in the Western world, you have a lot more day-to-day struggle than a white person does. You know what I mean? And that's just these ingrained things. And though maybe they've written the laws that everything's even, they're not even. You know what I mean?
You
But
would need a law to make it even if it was even.
But all these things, like, you know, even the push for the civil rights that have happened, you know, like the Black Panthers, they funded themselves through crime and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of civil rights and social justices that we've actually met in the last 100 years come from crime.
It's true.
And could there be a correlation why crime is such an issue to the powers that be?
Well, what's a crime?
Well,
Speaking
you start
against-
making a
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
things
saying, that's what I'm
crimes.
saying.
And
If you
then
speak up-
prison
if you
becomes
speak
business.
against the system out of injustice, that could be considered a crime.
Yeah?
Crime is something that's labeled something. It was a crime to walk around with a spliff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Now it's
true.
not a crime.
No, but you know what?
Yeah.
Where there used to only be 7 laws about carrying marijuana or marijuana possession, now with its legalization, there's what, 42 or 47. So it's actually more criminal now to be a pothead than it was before.
What you would be stopped for, remember a spliff, compared to you can now go across the country with how much you can walk with an ounce, right?
Yeah, you can walk.
I think you walk
You
with
can jump on a
an
plane
ounce,
with an ounce. You couldn't jump on a plane with an ounce.
Can you jump on a plane though?
Yeah, domestically,
Yeah,
you can.
With an ounce?
Within Canada.
In Canada, yeah.
And what if you're going to like California,
No, you can't.
Oh,
You
you
drop it
can't.
off.
So, yeah,
even though it's legal
They treat it
there?
like
Oh my
alcohol,
God.
basically.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
like, it's still a crime, but
Yeah.
it's just a little bit more in our
It's
favor
levels to
for
it.
certain things, and of course for other things it's not.
Yeah.
That's
But a crime, what's considered criminal is objective.
Well, it is 100%. And that's why I've always been a person. I don't even believe in laws because laws are pre-written by someone with influence who has an agenda.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And most of these people, to go to the point you were actually saying about how if you put a lot of rich people in the position that a poor person is in, they would do a lot worse things. And I agree with you because my personal opinion is you can't become a billionaire. Probably not even in this planet, but especially in the Western world, if you are not a piece of shit. And I'm sorry, I love Jay-Z, but you know what? You must be a cold-hearted bastard because you have to think about the levels and steps you have to take and make to actually acquire $1 billion. Because capitalism is all about benefiting your situation to shit on the people under you. Whether it be, cutting jobs, cutting wages, moving factories, whatever fact it may be. You can't get to $1 billion without being a piece of shit morally at the end of the day. And you got dudes, like Hove, who I commend him because he spends a lot of his time and money and influence to help issues. That's probably on his conscience. And you see other people in history who are like that. But, your Martin Shkreli's or, whatever, the majority of your billionaires, you don't even know they exist.
That's very true.
And these are the biggest pieces of shit on our planet. They're the people who take the biggest advantage. The house crashing crisis of 2007, whatever, and all the fucking fake remortgaging and all that stuff. You know how many people left Wall Street with millions and billions of dollars off that shit? They're not prosecuted. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you can't be a billionaire in this world without being a piece of shit. So I agree with you totally. 100%.
And just to add to the cutthroat thing, you have to do a lot of things you wouldn't like to do.
Yeah.
Like example, if you need more oil and you don't have oil, where are you gonna get it? And if I'm not gonna let you take my oil, what are you prepared to do to take my oil?
Lobby and influence whatever country you have the most monetary power in to go to war.
But if that doesn't work, you just have to go to war. Just like you said, the bully factor comes.
It's the bully factor, but it's all sponsored and monetized by the companies that, it's not like the American government is like, well, we need oil, let's go to war. It's the lobbyists and the people who fund these people's campaigns and have a lot of control and power in Washington that are like, well, we need to get oil. So you guys need to formulate an excuse, and this needs to happen, basically.
It's true.
But yeah, it's like, basically the exact same thing we're saying. It's just it's not the government. The government, fucking BP can't decide to go to war. But if they have enough influence in Washington, they can persuade people to go to war. And that's why I say you never truly have